Hello, my creatures of the night. Today, we continue 1999, but we're going 10 years further, to 2009. Now, what happened there? When our main character had his encounter with Mr. Bear. Update, November 14th, 2009. People have been emailing me, asking me what exactly happened in 1999. I will get to that. Those weird TV shows I was watching apparently were meant to attract kids to Mr. Bear's house. What Mr. Bear did shocked the entire town. My dad actually drove me to Caledon, along with the address Mr. Bear left on the letter. His house was actually in the outskirts of the town, in the open farmland. I still remember that house. It looked like an older farmhouse that looked to have been built in the early 1900s. The windows were all boarded up, and the house looked in a state of disrepair. As we walked up to the house, I remember my dad checking the address over and over again, looking at the house in disbelief. Then the door opened. I expected Mr. Bear to be at the door, but I was surprised to see a police officer emerge from the creaking doorway. The officer began talking to my dad, while I quickly asked if that was Mr. Bear's house. The officer's face cringed slightly, and he muttered, "Oh God," or something like that. He started talking quietly to my dad, so I couldn't hear. Although my dad told me to go through the car anyway, and then we just went home. My dad was quiet the whole way home. I felt something strange had happened. My dad never told me what happened for a while. I forgot all about it anyway, too. Channel 21 no longer came on. And when I asked about it, my dad would not acknowledge its existence. I think it was when I was 13 where I finally learned the truth. I remembered Channel 21 one day and asked my dad about it. I guess he finally decided I should hear the truth. Caledon Local 21 was a local TV channel that ran from October 1997 to August 1999 in the Peel region of Ontario. The entire channel was made from a house in Caledon, the one I visited, and run by a man who was not really known by anyone in the town. The channel was only available to older TVs because the signal was one only picked up by rabbit ears, weaker frequency. The man created all the shows on the channel, all of which were kid shows. He was Mr. Bear, and he was the mysterious cameraman. The real reason he created the channel was more disturbing than what was originally thought. As you might have guessed, he kidnapped kids and held them in his cellar. But while most people thought he was a serial child molester, he really wanted to use the kids for another purpose. The day I arrived, the man had fled his house the night before. The day before the police went in for their investigation. I wasn't the only one who was watching. Update, December 2nd, 2009. Sorry for not answering any questions for so long. I haven't accessed my email account for some time. Anyway, let let me finally set things straight about what I know. Back in October, I visited the house previously owned by the man who ran Caledon Local 21. 2 women lived there, operating a daycare business. How ironic. Now to answer the questions you guys emailed me. Who else watched Caledon Local 21? I know other people watched it for sure, including those kids who wound up at Mr.Bears' house. After some Google searches, I found a few people on Neoseeker forums who were discussing shows from Caledon Local 21. They talked about the 2 shows I watched, but also another 2 shows I had never seen before. A user named I Am Real Life seemed to know all of the shows that were broadcasted on Channel 21. Here are the other 2 I never heard of. The Fallen Angel and Life. I Am Real Life described it as a fairly boring show about a guy rambling on and on in front of the camera about how he must please Satan and appease him before it's too late. Paint with the Soul. I'm Real Life and another user called Siggy92 were discussing this show. They described it as Blair Witch-like, as it consisted of the camera wandering around a forest at night, doing nothing particularly interesting. I'm looking for the conversation and see if I can get the link. Where is Mr. Bear, or the guy who wore the costume? If I did know, I would have said earlier. I have no idea where this guy is, or if he's dead, or alive. Hopefully, dead. When I see my dad's friend next time, I will ask him about this. Maybe I can get a more definite answer. What did Mr. Bear do to the children? This is by far the most common question I've been asked. I found this out in October as well, via my dad's friend who's a retired Caledon regional officer. Apparently, the man playing Mr. Bear took the kids out of the house and into the forest nearby. What he did there, police are not exactly sure how it happened, but 16 charred bodies of children between the ages of 4 to 13 were found in a 15 by 15 foot ditch deep within the forest. My dad's friend did not want to go into exact details, but I'm seeing him next Thursday anyway, so maybe I can extort more information from him then? That's all I have for now. Thanks for keeping an interest in my blog. I will try to gather as much information as I can for my next post. I've actually been getting pretty interested in this myself. It should be my right to know what the hell happened. My, wasn't that interesting? Further on into this blog, we've seen the depravity of Mr. Bear. And we've seen very slightly the toll that it has on our main character, Elliot. Please join me next time. We'll go on into 2010 and the further questioning and experiences he'll have then. So, if you're interested, please like, comment, and subscribe. This, I think, will be a 4-parter. Enjoy, my creatures of the night.